Hi guys, Paul here. Just thought I'd put together a little demo of the app that I've been building for you guys. Hopefully you'll want to take it on. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. It could be in your interests, make your company look good and everything. Truth is that I need to build a few apps to try and get myself going with finding a job or sort of progressing with a business with it. One app just isn't enough, so I need to get three or four in there. So hopefully you'll go with me on this, and it will benefit us both. I'll have another app to show, and you'll have one that your students could possibly use. Right. So the first thing I want to show you is not the app itself. Basically, I've linked the app to a cloud database, which is called Google Firebase, which is very good, and it's an alternative to the one that I have been using. So basically, what it is that when people use the app, it will synchronize with this database, and that's how you get the information. That's how when somebody does an exam and sends it, this is how you look at the data. It might look a little bit jargony, but it's quite easy to convert into a Excel spreadsheet, which is something that I'd be more than happy to take a few minutes out of my day or week or whenever it is you need to have a look at one. Obviously, I'd give you access to this. So right, we'll come back to this in a moment. What I'll do is just give you a quick rundown. So what I've done is I've created a diagnostic section, and in here we have diagnostic questions. So we have there's quite a lot in there because you have the question itself, and then you have a series of multiple choice answers, and I even go so far as to actually display what goes in the multiple choice buttons, and of course you have the correct answer. Now the reason that I've done this is so that you can actually change the questions that you're asking without updating the app. So it all synchronizes live, and basically I'll show you this shortly. If I were to change a question in here, it would actually change it within the app as well. So it just gives a lot of potential for customization. If you want to change the questions for whatever reason, then this makes it very easy to do so. Yes, you do have to fill in a few entries for each question, but it doesn't take very long, and I think it's worth it. But we'll come back to this in a moment because there's the more important thing that I want to show you, which is when your users log onto the app and actually do an exam. So I will show you the app. So I've already run it. I tried doing this video a few minutes ago, and everything took a little while to load up. So what I'll do is I'm going to log out of a session. Now this is the front page. This can be modified. Your logo, we can put that in there correctly if you prefer. I mean, the way things are these days is that they're very much flat text. But at the end of the day, it's for you guys, and we need to use your branding. So that's something we can talk about. But that's very much a minor. That's just a cosmetic thing, along with the picture as well. I've got some different pictures which I've tried putting in there of the mountains of San Antonio Port and that sort of thing. But the picture I've got here is probably the nicest looking picture that I've got. So what you first do is you log in, and a person would log in via Facebook. Now I'm sure you guys have done this before with apps. You do it on games, you do it on lots of different apps, where rather than setting up a whole new user account, you log in with your Facebook account. So it's something that's pretty good, something I've always wanted to do. And with the new database that showed you at the very beginning of this video, that's made it possible. So what we'll do is we'll log in, and you get this. If you haven't already logged into it, you have to put in your Facebook username and password, which I've already done previously, so it's just told me that I'm okay to use it. So what happens then is it takes you into this sort of user portal, and this is going to be effectively, once they're logged in, this is their homepage. I see one little touch that we've done is it pulls down your Facebook picture and your full name, from Facebook. It pulls it down from Facebook and it puts it into the app, which is quite nice because it just looks like it's just a little bit of customization. Makes it a bit more personal to the user, which is what people like to see. It means that they're logged in effectively, and that whatever they do in here will be solely for them. So at the moment, I've only done a diagnostic exam. I believe that we could probably release the app with just diagnostic, and then you could follow up. We could follow up with the further exams at a later time. So you see, I've put a few animations into this. So if you click, I know it's pretty faint because I've grayed them out because the buttons out because they're not in use. But if you click on each one, it does a little shake. It does like a little shimmy to say no. So if we go to the diagnostic, that will allow us through. So that will take us to the diagnostic page with a bit of text that I've pulled from your website. So what it is it's 6 sections of 5 questions, giving you 30 questions in total, and then what it effectively gives you is a 30-page exam. So a simple diagnostic exam that they can fill in quite quickly. It's all multiple choice. I get the idea that when I speak to you about it, you are going to want to be able to have it so people can type entries in, which does create some complications because when you're checking the answer, it has to be exact to what they put in. So, but that's something that I'm definitely thinking about at the moment because I would expect that we'll have to do that at some point on this. So for now, what you'll do is we'll go to section 1 and we get this. So in here we have our questions and our 4 possible answers that we could choose from. So what I'm going to do quickly is I'm going to refer you back to this. So if you see here, you'll see these are the questions and the answers. And what I'm going to do just to show you is I'm going to edit this question, and I'm just going to edit it with today's date just to show how easy it is to modify it. So I should have pressed enter. Let's do that again. Right, so that's updated now. So in theory, if I give an answer, which is going to be am, and then I press next, you'll see here that that date has been put in there. So hopefully that explains what I was trying to say earlier about updating the questions in the app. It's all very, very fluid, and as you can see, it's pretty instantaneous. So that's good. So what I'll do is I will answer these quickly. So basically what they do is there are a few people at the party, so you press your answer button, you see it pops out at you, and then when it does, it displays the next button as well. Now you can't get the next button until you actually choose an answer. So we'll go through this. So this section, first section, is actual questions from your diagnostic. So if I just finish that, what then happens is at the end of those 5 questions, you go into a review section. So this lets you review, and if you wish, you can go back and retake these 5 questions, or if you're happy with what you've done, you can complete them. Now, here and there, it will actually tell you how many questions you've got right. So we got them all right on that one. Now, for the purpose of just showing you, the next few sections I'm going to do, and I'm going to get some of them wrong on purpose so that you can see the difference. So what it does is it takes you back to the section. Now, if you try and go back and do the section that you've just completed, bearing in mind you know how many answers you've got, you're unable to. You click that button, it says that you've completed the section and you have to continue. So what will happen is you then go into section 2, and then you can do any section at any point that you want. So let's do, for the sake of it, let's do section 6 next. So James, you're going to hate me for this because I spelt Wayne wrong, but what I'll do is I will say Batman is Bruce Whiplash, and we will go through and we'll say Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and then we'll say the Hulk is Bold, and Iron Man is Ned Stark. So like you see, I'm getting them wrong on purpose here. And Superman has a red cape. So you'll see here, if you look, you'll see that I've probably done 2 of the questions right. So if we now complete, then we get, that's what we're told. We're told that we have scored 2 out of 5 on this one. So that's section 6. So what we'll do is I will quickly whip through this. I'm going to get some wrong on purpose. I'm going to get some right. If you just bear with me, we'll never win the league. And we'll say that as well. So I think I've only done 2 right again, actually. So, oh no, I've done 3 right there. So, no, of course, yeah. So, right, so that's section 2. You'll see section 6 has already been done, so we can't do them again. So it is a one-off. So we're going to say we're going to get this one right, and then we're going to say we'll get all of them right on this one just for the sake of it. In fact, we'll make one wrong, and you'll see now. The reason that I need to go through the entire test is that I want to show you what happens afterwards. So you'll see that we're doing okay. I've nearly finished all the questions. I'm getting some wrong on purpose. You'll see there. I just had to come up with a load of questions just randomly, just to sort of complete this section of the app. So you'll see here we've done a review again. So we'll go through. Now I think I've only got section 5 left to do. So let me just go through all the sections first. See, so it's telling me I can't go back into them. So I'm going to go into section 5 and I'm going to get one of these right. Just for the sake of it. Right, so there we go. So then we've got one right. So what's happened now is all 6 sections are completed, which is great, which means that they've completed the test. So what they then do, before I go any further, I am going to put something in each of these labels that when you complete the section, I'm going to put like a green tick, or I'm just going to fade it out and put a white tick on it, or something so they know that they've already done it. Otherwise, they might get sort of confused and they might forget which sections they've completed and which they haven't, because it's perfectly fine to do 1 or 2 sections, log out of the app, and then return to it and then complete it. Anyway, so what happens is when you complete the test, you get this, and it's congratulations, and it tells you what your score is. So it tells me that I got 19 out of 30 questions correct. And then when I complete this, it takes me back to the front page. So that is the app, and what I'll do is I'll log out of it. That's back at the very beginning. So if we go back to the database, what I'm going to show you now is something new's appeared. So you see you've got this Talk English users. Now when you authenticate, when you log in with Facebook, you create an account. Now this one is the account that's been used, but my email address isn't public on Facebook, so it doesn't show. I've created another Facebook account which does have a public email address, and there it does have the person's email. But more importantly, it has a unique ID. Now I know this looks a little bit ugly, but what you can do is you can copy it, and then you can use that, and then in the database you can match it to the unique ID in here. Now it's just done this way because you could have a vast amount of users, hopefully anyway, and what it means is that no 2 people are going to have the same login ID. So if we expand this, what you're going to see is some good stuff. So the person, when you log in and when you hit those submit buttons or doing the questions, what it does is it actually synchronizes it with this database. So you'll see here we've got a link to the person's Facebook account, we've got the person's name, their location, and then we have their questions that they've answered. So these are the answers to their questions. So like you can see that they've answered them. I don't know if you recall that when I was answering that England played black, I was saying that Liverpool will never win the league. Donald Trump has ginger hair. So these are the answers that I actually made before I submitted them. So this is how you can take a diagnostic test and then at the end of it, you don't actually have to mark it yourself. It self-marks and then sends you the results. So this is all the questions, the answers to all of them, and what we'll see most importantly at the very bottom is the score for each section. So all you have to do is add these up, and then that will tell you what that person scored on their diagnostic. I hope that this would make this very convenient for you and could potentially save you a lot of time. So that is the app as it is at the moment. I think it's pretty good. Well, I particularly like the fact that you can use Facebook to log in, and then and then it will synchronize your questions and answers directly to it. Something I'm quite pleased about being able to do using this new Google Firebase database cloud database tool. And then of course we have the other element where you can update the questions in your you can update the questions in the diagnostic or any of the future tests at will. And they call it a real-time cloud database. It synchronizes as and when. I haven't put it to the test yet, but apparently it works even if they're offline. However, I wouldn't recommend people try and use this offline because of the Facebook login. It won't log in if you don't have a connection, the same way you couldn't log into Facebook if you had no internet on your phone. So there is that. But I hope to hear from you guys soon, and I'm sorry this video's run on a little bit. Don't get too bored watching it, and we will catch up again very soon, and hopefully you can share your thoughts with me. All right, take care, guys. Bye.